Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so I'm going to jump into what I'm calling a bonus read. I call it that only because I already did a bonus read today. And in that series that I put out every day that I just call the bonus general message, I always do a giveaway, at least during this month and into next month. But this is not a part of that series. This is just something that popped up into my head and I decided I better do a read on it. I was going to save it for today's topic, but that didn't feel right either. So this is some weird standalone. So here we go. All right. So the reason I'm doing this is because I had a vibe of when somebody gets sweaty palms because they're nervous about something. It was like that kind of vibe. And like I felt like a flush, like blushing or something. And the words, "Are you?" And I have no idea what that was about. So I want to just jump into this quickly because I feel like delaying and over explaining it doesn't make much sense because I don't know what the question is about. Are you what? Are you single? Are you interested? Are you thinking of me? I don't know what that's about. So I want to start out with what does that question mean? And what is the nervousness about? One card already popped. It is still face down. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to leave that there for the answer of like, what is the "are you ... And let me get one card where is the nervousness sensation there? What is it that's at the root of that? Okay, and that one is still face down also. So first off, are you Princess of Cups? This is able to forgive me? Are you going to let me make a love offer? Are you interested in going out with me? This is a brand new beginning, and this is also an apology. Why is somebody feeling so much nervousness over those words? 5 of Pentacles. That's a good reason to be nervous. I mean, not a good reason, but someone is either they left somebody out in the cold or they're afraid that basically they're going to be left out in the cold. This can be somebody is, I feel like they feel like this is a big wager for them. You see how this person's been like rowing against the current, and there's all these pentacles that have been kind of like they're hemorrhaging pentacles here. The thing is, there's another way to approach this. So if this person wants to get back to this beautiful golden temple, instead of trying to row backwards against the current, why not dock the boat and just walk up on land? So somebody is like, they might only see this going one way and they are nervous that it's either like it'll work or I lose it all. It's like somebody feels like there's a lot riding on this, which may not actually be true because, like I said, it seems like they're taking a really hard road. So if there's nervousness, it might be because they haven't seen that there's other ways to achieve things. But somebody seems to be pretty like focused that, oh my gosh, if I don't get the answer that I want, it could be a major loss. Tell me more. Actually, let's change decks already. Let's go this deck actually. Okay, Princess of Cups. So is it about an apology or is it about a new love offer? Is it about, there's butterflies all around her. It's about transforming things. Like, are you going to possibly hear me out? Are you going to talk to me? Are you going to let me explain? Are you going to... 2 of Pentacles. Wow. Again, we see a lot of indecisive energy. Somebody feels like whatever they're going to say or do, it puts them in the position of then having to wait for someone's response or reaction. So it's, if you look, this person, again, they might be like really psyching themselves out a little bit more than what they need to, because we've got somebody's head here in the belly area, and where their head should be, we've got basically the skeleton of a cat and we have a bird. So basically the mind is a mess right now. And so somebody is trying to operate from their gut instinct, which is good. But in this 2 of Pentacles, it's not just about, okay, somebody, if I'm offering them something, they could say yes or no. somebody is really contemplating, like, how do I say it? What do I say? This seems to be pretty heartfelt. Somebody is trying to follow their gut, but their head is just a gigantic. I mean, if you see a bird up there, that's a little bit flighty. That's a little bit all over the place. And then the fact that we got like a skeleton of a cat, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's already happened. So in somebody's mind, there's, I would say, the echoes of the past, and there's lots of scattered thoughts. And somebody, I feel like they actually kind of want to say something and then run away and not have to face you as you give them a response. So if it's like, are you able to forgive me? It's like they'd like to say that, but then almost like not have to hear your response, because this is agonizing for somebody to have to be in the hot seat, to have to be waiting to see, what are you going to say? Or are you going to say yes to me? Yes, I'll go out with you. Yes, I'd like to see you. Yes, let's get something going. Yes, I care about you. They almost like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can handle the suspense of facing you if your answer is no, or maybe even facing you if your answer is yes. But their gut keeps telling them to do this, is what it looks like. Give me one more on that. Of course, we have to have the very tattered Hierophant card, Taurus energy popping up. Our first major arcana. This is a card that my puppy got to in a pretty big way. So I just roll with stuff because whatever happens, happens. And I just haven't replaced this deck yet because secretly I like this. It's not a secret anymore. This card, it's appropriate that it's all chewed up because this Hierophant, this is like a pretty heavy, intense card, if you ask me. Normally the Hierophant, I look at it as like, oh, it can be our connection to our higher self. It can be like a wonderful sense of, organization, structure. It can be us, having a belief system that we feel comfortable believing in. It's like, yes, I want to go ahead and believe this way. It's a commitment, like a marriage, and it's all because of personal choice that we want to be with somebody that we care about. But this card carries the negative side of that. This is, you follow tradition because I said so. You stay married because that's what you said you were going to do. I don't care if you're unhappy. This is how it is. This card carries like a very stern, very like you will show to the world that you fall in line. There's an expectation on this Hierophant that I feel very uncomfortable with. And so the fact that this card is so tattered and chewed up by my dog, it kind of adds an extra, I'm going to say, an extra flair to this. This has been a difficult situation. If somebody is, I feel as if somebody is trying really hard to still follow the rule book that's in front of them. They might be trying to explain why they followed a rule book, even though they didn't really want to. Someone might actually be apologizing for not choosing what their heart told them to in the past, but for following a set of rules instead. When it comes to matters of the heart, nobody else should maybe be able to tell us what the rules are, as far as like, if you got to be authentic, right? About, are you staying in a commitment that is making you absolutely miserable, but you feel like you absolutely have to stay just because of the rules? Like, it's questionable, right? And I feel like if somebody is coming in to make an apology saying, are you willing to talk to me? Are you willing to hear me out? Some of the things that they might have to explain maybe have something to do with a situation like that. Or it's that they are trying so hard. I feel like this person is very nervous, but they know that this is like the thing that they must do. Their gut is telling them that, but this is really tough for somebody. I got to check in on that Hierophant one more time. What does that mean? I mean, the Two of Pentacles precedes it, and then we've got the Hierophant. So what on earth? Six of Pentacles. Here's this happy kind of connection. This is I want to give to this. Now it's not a matter of duty. Look at the difference in the cards, right? The dark, heavy energy here. Also, we see actually three people, whether or not you can really see that. We see this very stern person standing there staring at us, kind of with this, it's almost like there's a serpent around her walking stick there, kind of like Asclepios's medical staff, but not quite. And then it's almost like, take your medicine. I told you this is how it has to go kind of vibe. It's not nice. It's not friendly. But right behind her, there's two other faces on either side. It's kind of like somebody was making rules, making decisions on behalf of someone. And what they're trying to say is, look at how light and bright this is. Huge contrast. This is somebody who is saying, I want to give to a situation now. I'm no longer being told that this is what I have to do. I want to do this. This is where I want to give my equal time. I kind of feel like this is somebody who didn't go with what their heart or their gut instinct told them to in the past. They did what was dictated by a person, maybe a very powerful mother or father or religious figure or whatever it was. Somebody followed like the order of things, even though it was very difficult and it was not what they wanted. Instead, they're now saying what their heart actually does want. Their heart actually wants to be in this lighter, brighter, sunny skies. They want to give equally to something. That's a pretty big thing to start to try to explain why we stayed in something that was stern and difficult and, oppressive. Tell me about the Five of Pentacles now, because now we're talking about why they're so nervous. So nervous because now they stand to lose. Seven of Wands in the reverse. Nervous because they don't want to be out in the cold. Again, we see a bird for a head, right? I feel as if they want this explanation to make sense. They want to answer all of the questions and explain it in a way that doesn't leave the other person feeling completely scattered. Like, what the heck? I don't get what you're trying to say. I feel like they worry about adding more confusion into the mixture. They want very much to actually remove conflict and remove confusion and to explain a difficult discussion and explain their role in something difficult in a way that can make sense so that it doesn't immediately produce backlash. They really want to explain something and not create more conflict, and they don't want to be left out in the cold. There's a lot of nervousness. And if I say that a lot is riding on this, that Five of Pentacles, this person, if they are breaking away from something that has already been very stern, very controlling, that may be why there's a lot riding on this. They may be choosing what their heart wants, and that may be something where they're going against what the rules are. This could be one of those taboo love stories where it's like, maybe it's someone is coming out. Maybe it's about, what gender their preference is for. And, or maybe it's a situation where it was just somebody who was in a former commitment, in a former marriage, and they were honor bound, duty bound, whatever wording you want to use to say that they were staying in a situation like that, even though that's not where their heart was. And that's not at all what they wanted. This person, whatever this is, they're actually, or even like in a work situation, somebody couldn't date somebody or couldn't show their affection towards somebody because we were coworkers, and I can't do that in that situation. Whatever this was, it was a matter of expectation that kept two people apart. I mean, not like, it was like a societal impression, or like a family member would have been disappointed in them, or a boss would have been disappointed in them. It was one of those types of things, perhaps. So we just got the 10 of Wands in the reverse also. And this is still under the header of why is somebody nervous? Because there's a lot of skeletons. And what is somebody going to see? Like, what do they see when they look in the mirror? Lots and lots of things have been hidden. Do you see the faint outline of the moon here? Lots of things have been hidden that shouldn't have been from a long time ago. Lots of remorse, lots of problems, lots of burdens have been created because somebody didn't talk about the skeletons in their closet maybe when they should have. Now, probably passage of time has happened also. Somebody's very nervous. And this could be an old connection that somebody's trying to resurrect. And I only say that because of the skeleton. But every time this person like looks in the mirror, what they are hoping for is to still, like they are looking back in time with that mirror, you know, like kind of like objects in the rearview mirror. It's like they can't help but constantly look back is what I feel like. And there is huge regret from what I can see. I mean, because this is fear, guilt, shame, sadness, all the heavy burdens. Somebody carries this around, lugs it around all the time. There's no way out for this. So it's time to just go ahead and talk about this. Like, are you able to forgive me is what I want to say. Are you able to? Somebody's very nervous. Very nervous. Let me change the question now and say, so what is it that somebody wants to get to? What is the purpose of this? Hierophant in the upright. Again, a Hierophant card that has a very different flavor to it, right? We see kindness, we see understanding, we see wisdom, we see patience, we see knowledge. Someone has learned a lot about what relationships can be like. And maybe this is somebody who simply dodged a connection because they weren't ready to be in something serious. They looked at relationships as like, maybe they had been married and divorced before. Maybe those shadows that we see behind her, those other faces, maybe it's like somebody looked at serious commitment as like a big, giant, scary. Maybe it wasn't a taboo kind of relationship, but rather somebody wasn't willing to work together in a connection because they knew it was going to get serious. And they were like, the last thing I want is a serious commitment. Now, maybe somebody has seen commitments in a very different way. They found some kind of peace, some kind of harmony, some kind of knowledge, some kind of wisdom. So their intention here is strangely is like they want to marry this person. Yet either in the past they had been already tangled up in a situation that was absolutely disastrous and they had to first get out of that situation. They had been forced to stay in it for whatever reason. But now someone's intention is to come in. They're coming in wiser. They're coming in calmer. They're coming in. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that. This is, hold on. Now, 6 of Cups. We are seeing somebody who wants to come in and actually have this happiness with the individual that they personally choose. This person is not just coming in with a little bitty apology. This is like, no wonder somebody feels like there's so much riding on this. How do they explain why they didn't choose what their heart wanted? You know, because it seems really simple, right? If your heart wants it, go get it. What are you waiting for? You know, that's easy to say unless you've walked in someone else's shoes, right? Someone is coming in for the purpose of returning to their soulmate, for the purpose of making a solid commitment, but for the purpose of also like establishing this kind of connection that their heart wanted all along is all I can see. Tell me about the actual Hierophant. Let me see if I can just really hone in on that for a second. The Lovers. All I keep seeing is that somebody is saying, and these are birds again, right? But this time it's a bird that's returning. Somebody who is choosing the partner that they wanted all along. So Again, no wonder somebody is nervous, and no wonder there's so much riding on this, and no wonder there's so many questions in somebody's mind about, like, can they fix what has happened here? Let me actually ask that. What did happen here? Let me just see if I've missed something or misinterpreted something in this storyline. What did happen here? The circumstances. We've got a 10 of Wands. Somebody had a bunch of stuff that they had to clean up first. They had obstacles. And then they had to set themselves free from it. Okay. So this was the 10 of Wands in the upright. That's when we actually do close out a cycle. So they had to close out one situation first. And in the meantime, they made a real big mess with someone else. Tell me more about this situation. They had to set themselves free from a former situation. Hanged Man in the reverse. They had to get to the point where they knew what to do. Temperance in the reverse, and Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And they were bogged down. Even when they knew what to do, there was no easy way to get through this. And so they stayed stuck for possibly a very long time. So then what? The World card. But they did manage. And it's so interesting because sitting on the top of this World card, here's a feminine who's in a wedding dress with a scythe, no less, and holding onto an hourglass. It's as if they knew that time was running out for the person that they really wanted to be with. This person knew this all along, but they had a bunch of stuff to clean up. And even when they knew what they needed to do, there was still a lot of imbalance. Why was there such a mess here and such a bogged down of time? I mean, we see that this person is starting a whole new life. We see that this person is ready to be with the one they want, because they had a lot of things to actually put an end to. This is, it was also a lot of healing. This is burying the past, putting the final nail in the coffin. It was just tough for them to close out this cycle. It was tough for them to get to the point where they could move on from it. This is now a point where they are able to start anew. It's a new chapter of their life. So let me go back around one more time and say, so if their intentions are to come in and have an actual serious commitment, like a marriage here, this person sees this person as their soulmate, sees them as the person that they choose. Nobody chooses for them. They choose it. And they choose it from a place of, like, they look forward to being married. This is not like, oh my God, I'm afraid of it now. This is like, it's the wisdom and the knowledge of what a real partnership would feel like, what it would be like to be able to be with the one you choose and who chooses you. Hopefully that's what everybody's love life is. I mean, that's one of the most, I would argue, one of the most personal choices, right? Like who you love, who your person is that you marry, what adult you marry should be up to you, right? Anything else about this person on their mind? Anything else on this person's mind? The Wheel of Fortune in the upright, the 10 of Coins upright. Ooh, Emperor in the reverse. There is still a disapproving figure and they don't care. This is somebody who is saying, this is my shot. This is my time. I have to go after this anyway. No matter what's going to happen, I believe that this is my chance to have that kind of happiness. Will I make other people happy with my choice? Absolutely. Probably not. But it's not about anybody else's choices. It's about mine. I feel like somebody has found their personal power. Somebody has decided on what to do for themselves. And this is, the divine timing has kicked into play here. Before we saw the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, somebody might have also achieved a certain amount of financial abundance all of a sudden. Somebody might have closed out a contract, finished a job. They may be quitting a job, moving away from something. And that might have been a very oppressive thing. That might have been very heavy on them. Whatever the routine was that they lived in, what I feel like somebody came from a space of pressure. I mean, we saw that. And I should have mentioned this also. This could have been a really high pressurized job, a really controlling boss. If that influenced everything, that could have also been the case. It doesn't always have to be. This now becomes about romance, but maybe there were jobs and things like that that got in the way as well. But it's time. Somebody knows that this is it. This is their time, their opportunity to make something work, their opportunity to say, I have everything I need. I can finally set myself free from this oppressive force in my life. So how does this story shake out? How does this story shake out? Hopefully with something very happy. How does this story shape up? We've got a 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. We have a 5 of Wands upright, and we have a a Knight of Cups in reverse. We still have some obstacles here. Oh, we do. Yes, we do. My impression is that no matter what, there's going to be obstacles. Obstacles in the sense of someone may not believe that the love offer is real that they're bringing in, or somebody wants to prevent someone from bringing their love offer in. Whoever is being perhaps left behind could be creating drama and strife because they don't want to see that person go. They may be even in a state of like, I don't believe that you're going to do that. They may be trying to instill worry in somebody's mind. This person's already worried. Tell me about this. What happens? What happens with this? Either somebody doesn't believe that the person is being sincere, maybe because there was so wasted time, maybe because there was so much, this person is worried about all these problems for a reason. They're worried about being left out in the cold. They're worried about, can I really remove obstacles? Can I explain things in a way? Man, there's a lot for me to explain. There may be, my impression is that this probably wasn't so awesome. Maybe how they handled themselves in the past or something. For someone to be all that worried and have to lead with an apology and then have to wait and see what somebody says, they might have really hurt somebody. They might have chosen to stay where they were, and maybe they left somebody high and dry who was a soulmate. This could be one of those situations. They knew darn well who they wanted to be with, and they didn't choose that person. And in fact, they might have done that person real dirty. You don't do that. You just flat out don't do that. There's a star card, though. There's a chance to heal all of this, but it may be like someone initially goes, what? What do you mean you're coming in now? What do you mean now you're going to tell me that I'm the one you always wanted to be with, and there were just these things that you just let get in the way? This could be somebody saying, I don't believe you. You're not bringing in a love offer. Where were you when I needed you? Where were you when I desperately needed you to be there with me? Because this is somebody who didn't work with somebody when it mattered. This is somebody who is like, there's a lot to heal here, a lot to heal. But the star card is also a wish fulfillment. So even if this person is pushing this away, saying, I don't trust you, now you're coming in. Oh yeah, now you want to marry me too. I don't believe that. And yet this would have been a wish fulfillment. Still is, but they may resist the hell out of it because they don't trust it. But you know what? We still end up with a Hierophant. Hey, listen, if somebody did somebody wrong, they better be willing to do whatever it takes to try to make it right. This situation, all roads seem to keep leading to marriage, but a happy version of it. We have a lot of nice energy popping up in this that is unexpected. So I don't know if that'll make sense to anybody, but that's what I got right now. Hey, whatever it is, it's just a story. Please remember that it is just my art. I am not a psychic. I am not a fortune teller. I am not telling you how to live your life or what's going to happen in your world. Only you get. Anyway, you guys take care. Thanks for being with me. I wish you nothing but the best. Bye.